I am so spread throughout all the facilities. Everything has just been so busy lately, and I'm like, scaling is cool, but at the same time, it's taking me away from all the stuff that I enjoy the most about coaching, right? Which is connecting with people, actually solving the problems, all of the like the nitty-gritty day-to-day stuff, right? And I have all these responsibilities. What I wanted to start doing was just reaching out to people and connecting with them, either going out to lunch or meeting them in the gym or jumping on a Zoom call or something like that. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I could introduce two people that may or may not know each other, or chat with two people that know each other, and we can discuss topics, and maybe we'll just record it and we'll share it with, if ever anyone wants to listen, cool. If not, I was doing it for myself anyway and for you guys. So either way, I think it's like a win-win. So it was one of those things where I didn't have a ton of stress of this has to be an amazing thing or I have to make money off of it. It was more of this, I wanted to do it whether I'm getting paid for it or not. And I think it's just a fun thing to connect with everyone and catch up anyway. I'll just do a kind of quick intro and then we'll get into some things. Lily and Ola here, two members that I would say are probably maybe unlikely candidates for a barbell gym and are, but ironically, the exact type of people that we have built this gym around. Is I love starting from the beginning and being able to coach people through this process and pass on my love for this stuff and my passion for this stuff to you guys. So I don't think either of you came in with any strength training experience, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys both stuck with it. You're pretty consistent with it. You've had a lot of ups and downs in life and training, all that kind of stuff. And we've tried to work around it. I think we've been able to customize your programming. We've worked around injuries, goals, life changes, and just you become regulars in the gym basically, and great friends. Seems like. I can't remember if you guys were friends before the gym or if you met in the gym or you worked together. You guys can tell me that story. But why don't we kick off? I'll turn it over. One of you can take over. And I just want to get like a quick intro of what life looks like for you, maybe outside of the gym right now, and where you're coming from and that kind of thing. So anyone?
Whatever you want. I'm fine.
Lil, you want to start?
Sure. Yeah. So what life looks like outside of the gym right now?
Yeah.
Currently, my life is it's crazy, but it's also calm in the sense that I'm going through a lot of personal changes. I'm going through a breakup, and that's something that I never could have predicted would happen to me. But it's also like this kind of reawakening where even though it feels not so fun a lot of the time, I'm able to learn a lot from it. So I'm just trying to find joy in my daily life right now, trying to figure out how to navigate living alone. I have an amazing job. I work with Ola, and I go to the GTS gym twice a week at least. And that has been like it's more than a gym to me. It's like a family at this point, and could never envision myself not going there. But I try to go to the gym, go to work, and then schedule a few things with friends. I talk on the phone a lot. I love walking. I get 10,000 steps every day, no matter what.
Nice.
And that's just a little bit of my daily routine.
Great. And how about you, Ola? What's life look like for you outside of the gym? I know you're pretty active in terms of like volleyball and that kind of thing too, right?
Yeah. Lately, it's very hectic for me because I'm in a new role at work. So a lot of overtime, working evenings and weekends. So I feel like my gym has definitely scaled down or even laid off my calendar. But and there was a moment where I was like, should I just cancel for a few months and then maybe come back in half a year or something? And then I was like, no, because I remember like how awesome it is when I'm there and how much I like it when I do go. And I think if I were to do that, I'm afraid that I would take too long of a break.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's fine. Even if I do like once every 2 weeks for now, it's still worth it to just keep that habit and knowing that I'll ramp back up again, because before it was maybe like twice a week.
Yeah.
But yes, a lot of volleyball. I make it a point to keep that because that's a place where I de-stress and really don't think about work or anything else. So
yeah,
we volleyball 3 times a week, usually once during the week and then Friday and one day of the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was hard enough just to get you on, like you were the only one that had probably the strictest schedule, but
Yeah, it's become this new role. I'm like currently doing the work of what feels like three people.
She's
So
a boss lady.
now I'm about to be trying to figure out how to be a boss lady. So
yeah. Aren't we all? We were all working on our inner boss lady.
We are.
Yeah.
Literally.
But that's cool. I think you nailed something really good that I talk about with a lot of people is having some skin in the game, whether it's a time commitment or a financial commitment of some sort. And I was just chatting to someone about this the other day about I have a lot of apps that are extremely useful that I continue to pay for on purpose. And it's not like I'm encouraging people to be financially irresponsible, but I think there's something you should be getting value out of something. That payment acts almost as this is my penance for not showing up. This is and is that reminder that I'm like, I should be doing this thing. Even if I'm not taking full advantage of it, it's keeping me like top of mind, or it's keeping it top of mind. So when you get that payment, you're like, oh, I got to do this. I got to get in there. And I can't tell you how many apps that I have that I'm like, I know I should be using this app. I know I should be taking advantage of it. And it helps get me back on track. But I think it's important to have, you almost have to build like multiple mechanisms to get you to do the things that you're supposed to do. It's like these footholds, or we use that that analogy of climbing the mountain. It's almost like you want to have these safety nets and ropes all over the place that help keep you back on track and keep you like holding on. Because like I know too, if I stop payment on an app or whatever it is that I'm paying for, there's going to be this inertia that I need to get back into it. And just like you said, God knows how long I'll go before I get back into this thing. And once I'm already paying for it. All I have to do is just open the app. It's not that hard. If I have to go through multiple steps of paying for this thing, pulling out my credit card again, it's just not going to work. So
it's not. I think like then my break would be much longer. And also I think if I didn't like it, I probably would have canceled. But like I always think that it makes me so happy when I go there. So even if I'm doing it less, like it's still something that I feel like is also like I've seen very quick benefits from too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so curious, do you remember, because I think the gym itself could be, I think barbell training, it can be a very intimidating thing. Stepping into a gym environment could be a really intimidating thing. Do you remember what it was like when you found us and walking into that gym for the first time, and maybe jump back into those feelings of walking into this space and what helped get you over the edge of this is a place I should be in?
Yeah, I'll be honest. If it weren't for Kelly talking to me on the phone to start my membership or to learn about me, I don't know if I would have joined her as quickly, because I had this idea in my mind where I'm like, oh my God, if it's like all guys, it's going to be creepy.
Yeah.
I think that's like a serious like stigma that people have around, especially a weightlifting gym. I was like, okay, I know I need to lift weights. I don't want to do this on my own in a big public gym where everyone can see me and watch me and see how terrible my form is. And I don't know what I'm doing. So I should just at least try to learn.
Yeah.
And so I knew I wanted some sort of like personal training environment, maybe not one-on-one because that can get expensive. But so I found you guys through Yelp because I was looking for gyms close to work, and I live in West Hollywood, for those who don't know. And now, like, even when I don't go to work, I come to the gym. I don't even care about the drive because
Wow, I don't think I ever realized you commuted from West Hollywood all the way.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm in West Hollywood, but I did it because I was like, okay, this will encourage me to go to the gym before work. And once I spoke to Kelly, I was like, okay, there's at least one girl here. And then now Kelly and I were actually recently, this was 3 years ago, and now she and I were talking, and she's like, you were the second client that I spoke to on the phone, like that I got like into the gym. And the first one that she spoke to, I guess, just moved to a different state. But she was like, you were the second person I talked to. And I was like, wow, it was like fate that it was a woman.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I love you all so much, and there's absolutely nothing creepy about the gym at all.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. So for anyone listening that doesn't know who Kelly is, she's basically our Swiss Army knife of like on our team. So she does the sales calls with me. She helps with the admin stuff, the sales, the programming, the coaching, the facility management. She does it all in one person. So she's so valuable to us. And it's nice to actually have a female counterpart on the sales side when we talk to people and get to know people. Because I do think, like you said, there's probably anyone can do. We're all saying the same stuff, but sometimes hearing it from a female first.
Definitely. And my parents were like, my dad especially was like, is there a girl? Are you gonna have a girl trainer? And I don't know. I think it's just a common misconception, but like now being in the gym, I'm so comfortable around everybody. But I think that initially that helped me come in.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Ola, how about you?
I actually have a funny story
Great.
of how this happened, how I found you guys. I was trying to find something to complement my volleyball playing. I was trying different classes and I went to Orange Theory. You can bleep this out.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
The name Orange Theory, and I hated it. And right after the class, I had to go to a dry cleaner to pick up my dry cleaning.
Oh.
And dry cleaner like owner was there and he was like, where are you coming from? And I said, Orange. And he was like, oh, come into class. I'm like, terrible. I hated it. And I don't know, like, I don't know. We just got talking. I was like, I don't know what to do. I hated it. It's not the kind of training I want. And he's come with me. I'm going to introduce you to somebody.
Wait, is it the dry cleaners next to the gym in Westchester?
Yeah.
That guy.
Fernando.
Yeah, he's
and
the
then
best.
back in to the gym. And I talked to you and you were like, oh, here's, I don't know, I think you took my number or you said, here's my number, give me a call and I'll walk you through how this works. But I think maybe I wouldn't have been up for it because just like really like it's intimidating, but for sure. But I think having that bad class experience helped and seeing that your gym is actually quite small, that made me feel better because I was like, then there won't be like 100 dudes there. There's gonna be like,
right.
That's okay. Like I'm okay with that. But then when we spoke and then when I came in, I was like, oh my God, this is not what I imagined in my head.
Yeah.
There were people of all ages, all sizes, like women, men. It was very, like, it made me feel comfortable right away. I felt very, okay, I'm okay.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing is like we've got so many different client types. Like you'll be training next to a 80-year-old woman and a 14-year-old kid, and then someone that is like a high-level competitive powerlifter athlete, and all in the same space.
All walks of life.
Very fun. Like people, you'll come in and people say hi, even if they don't know you, right?
Yeah.
Next to them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've made friends, including now Ola, who we found out that we worked together from meeting at the gym.
Yeah.
And then we became friends after that, and very close friends. Like we'll hang out outside of work and we have like similar interests. We like to get your ears pierced together. But even the members, I've met like so many amazing members, but also the trainers have also become such an important part of my life. Honestly, it's like, I know we always have these long yap sessions in the gym, but like it really is like little therapy sessions where we get to talking, and it's just like there's no pressure, or like you don't have to stay a time slot. Like you can take your time and you can mingle and make it really fun and enjoyable. It's not like a strict, scary gym type feeling.
I never feel bad about where you're at.
Yeah.
Everybody's in different weights. Just everybody's in a different spot and it's fine. And the trainer would never compare you to anybody either.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think it would be a more competitive environment. I feel like that would be my initial instinct when I first got into weight training and maybe it's a guy thing. It's, I need to lift as much as this guy or that guy. And maybe some of that goes on, but I feel like everyone, after the first couple days, you let go of your ego a little bit and you're just like, I'm here. I'm just on my journey. And everyone's on like their own path, which for anyone that is listening on that doesn't really understand our model, I think one of the things we solved for is I personally hate classes. I hate being trapped in a class, right? Like a yoga class or something. Not that I don't like yoga or Pilates or whatever, any classes. When I have my fill, I want to be able to leave. I don't like being trapped in anything. I like to be able to take what I get out of it and move on. And I wanted to create that for everyone else, in that when we front load this training to educate and build this common language and build out a program for everyone. So then once we teach you how to manage this, and we're going to help you manage it along the way, you can basically come in and train for 15 to 20 minutes, or you can be there for 3 hours if you wanted to. It's not like we have a set, like you got to be in and out in 30 minutes. We got to rush you through. And
Right. You
so,
can really make it your own.
yeah. And so some people are on the clock and they need to get in and out, and we make a really efficient experience out of it. And other people might have more time and you might want to chat. And half the fun of this stuff is if you don't enjoy it, and if you don't have friends at the gym and you have an enjoyable space you like coming to, you're not going to do it. And I think there's something to be said about like Orange Theory and CrossFit and those class-based things, because there is this foxhole mentality where you're all suffering together and you're probably more likely to do burpees when you're in a group, right? But when you're by yourself, like, I'm not going to do burpees by myself.
I think
So.
for me, like why I never really resonated with classes is because it feels very competitive. I feel like whether anyone says so or not, it definitely feels like a little bit of a competition, and just makes me feel a little uneasy. Like when I'm working out, I don't want to think about who's better or worse or whatever that even means. I just want to do what feels right for me, especially with weightlifting, because it can be dangerous if you're doing it wrong. You don't want to hurt yourself. So I think this is like the perfect environment for that, because you can feel safe and also like actually enjoy it without comparing yourself to others in a bigger public gym or a class.
Yeah.
You made a good point about nobody's paying attention to you, really, like that, because there's so many people in the class, and sure, you feel like it is competitive with the others, but the teacher doesn't have enough time to whatever.
Yeah. When you have one instructor to 20 people,
Yeah,
it's hard. That was always the thing that drove me nuts when I did some classes on the beach in like a park and stuff, and I'd have 20 people, and my like OCD would just kick in. Oh, no one's doing any of this.
I felt like I wasn't doing any of this. And actually, now this triggered another memory. Like a few months before I joined GTS, I was trying to look for personal trainers, but they're just so expensive. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
Essentially in LA.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So like,
Oh yeah.
have a consultation, I guess you could say, or whatever, with somebody. And I was like, I just can't, like this, I would love to do this, but I just can't pay this much. And it was very hard. Like I couldn't find anything in between that, like just a one-on-one.
Yeah.
And the classes of 25, 30 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like your model is very unique, and it's been great.
Yeah. It's evolved quite a bit. I've been in business for a little over 16 years now. And when I first started, I was in the tech industry. I was like a computer science and math guy. So I was with Accenture. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but like IT consulting firm. And I basically lived on a plane 50 weeks out of the year. I don't think I ever worked in the same city that I lived for 6 years straight. So I always had my suitcase open. I'd come home, repack it, and then I'd be off and whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So at some point in time, I was like, I need a career change. I was looking at all the people that I was supposed to aspire to, and they're all like lost all their hair. They look stressed out of their mind. They probably look 10 years older than they're supposed to be. And I was like, I don't necessarily want to follow this path. And so I think it was during a year, I think it was about 2008 to 2010, when we're in like that downturn of the economy. And I decided I'm going to leave my job and start a personal training business. And my dad is, oh, please God, no. Like, you're like the one child I don't have to worry about right now. You have a stable job and like everything is, you're good. I don't have to worry about you now. Not that my parents weren't supportive, but of course, coming from that standpoint, you're like, oh my God, please don't do this. You know? And so I started doing personal training at first, and I wanted to train athletes. And I quickly realized that athletes are very seasonal, and they're not really paying the bills. And the general population ended up being the population that we ended up training. And so I had this one-on-one was evolving and I was getting more and more people. And at some point in time, there was these people that were completely dependent on me, where they've trained with me for 6 to 8 months. They still don't know what a squat is. No clue. We are literally reteaching them a squat 6 months later. They don't know what it,
Oh,
they don't even know
wow.
where the bar goes. And I was like, am I doing this person any service here? Maybe I'm getting them through a workout, but they're completely 100% dependent on me and they don't have to learn anything. And my favorite clients were the ones that came in, they learned something every day, and they almost got to the point where they don't need me for an hour anymore. And they said that, hey, I really want to keep training with you. I don't think I need you for that much time. I don't want to spend that much money. And so then I was like, oh, how about we figure out a half an hour schedule? I get you started and you can watch the technical stuff and then you get going. And then it was down to 15 minutes. And then I kept on figuring out a way to scale and service more people.
Wow.
And then it evolved into what it is now, which is let's front load some one-on-one time to get this language. And we've got it down to a science now, right? 3 to 5 days for most people. And then after that, we've got that kind of onboarding transition process where we're like getting you into learning how to read and write your programming, the methodology, the language, all that stuff, right? And then we're spending time with each person that needs us. And sometimes it might be 2 to 5 minutes, and it might be one cue. And sometimes we might dive deep for an hour, right? And then this way we can shift our time in a way that's useful and we can keep the cost manageable for people and not build that dependence. So you guys are incentivized to learn along the way, right? So this way, because LA is so transient, when people move away, I want you to be able to take this knowledge and go anywhere with it.
Definitely, yeah. It's also nice to be able to travel and use a gym somewhere and have an idea of what you're doing and not be totally mortified. I still prefer always being at GTS. For some reason, a part of me goes blank when I'm in a not GTS, but it is nice to have ideas of what to do when I'm traveling because beforehand, I think I would only just go on the treadmill.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
So-
that's actually like one of my favorite things when we on like Circle and stuff too, is once we see people training when they're on vacation, it's become part of their identity. And now it's just, I am someone that trains regardless of the situation. And it almost makes you so much more appreciative when you get back to the gym. You're like, oh, I know where my stuff is now versus scavenging in
sure.
another gym.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like I have a good feel of what, or an idea of what I need to, what feels good and what I need to work out when I'm on vacation and not how to push it or not support myself a thing from going to the gym. So that's been.
I think another interesting topic that you guys might want to like chat about is that we've had to make modifications to both of your programming. I think you guys are both, you've seen how things get customized and morphed, and all you have to do is just say, hey, I have a question or I have an issue. And then we pretty much try to address that right away, right? Maybe it was like injuries or goals, life changes, developing certain body parts. So what maybe was that process for you? Did you feel comfortable communicating that? Did you feel like we solved that problem for you? You know, what's that like for you guys?
Do you want me to go?
Go for it.
Okay. So I feel like when I first started out of the gym, I wanted that program, that I wanted you to build out that program for me because I had no idea what I liked or I didn't like. And then as I got to the next program that you guys built for me, I was like, okay, maybe I don't like this one exercise so much. And then you changed it. And I don't know why, like you feel like you should do it, but then you're like, wait, like they definitely can suggest something else or even teach you something else. And you're like, wait, I like this 10 times better because you're not going to like every single movement. Like not every movement is universally liked by everyone. And that's totally okay. And the great thing about this gym is that they will have a suggestion for how to help you and pick a new exercise. So I love that. And customizing my program, if I want more emphasis on like my glutes, or like you can definitely customize how your routine looks.
Yeah.
And as far as traveling, I was doing a lot of traveling, and I feel like as long as you're honest and let the gym know like a good amount ahead of time that you're going to be somewhere, they'll definitely work with you with how to extend out your passes or maybe give a discount or something. It's never like you absolutely are locked into this price forever and like you can't leave.
Yeah.
And So I think that's been really nice to have that flexibility. And then, yeah, I think when you get to a certain point too, like I feel so comfortable with you guys now that like I could tell you anything that's happened to me. I feel really comfortable. There was a time where I felt like I was going to pass out in the gym and I wasn't afraid to speak up. It was just an off day for me. And that was it. I left and there was no like ding to my profile or anything. I just took the day and everyone understood and we reset like it was nothing. And even with my breakup and everything, I've been able to be honest about what's been happening there and just the support that you guys have given me. And like you even checked on me, which is, you didn't have to do that. So I just think that it's just such a great environment, no matter what you're going through, like you guys will support. And I just am very appreciative. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. We love you, Lilac.
Love you.
We've all been through that stuff. It's such an
Yeah.
unfortunate, awful thing to go through, but it's such a, I think it's also just when you get to the other side of it, it's so empowering.
Yes.
You heal faster, but it's just so hard to go through it initially.
Oh my gosh, I never could have imagined. And I'm only in the beginning of it, but
Yeah.
I already know that I will come out stronger on the other side. And I'm looking forward to that journey
Yeah.
and that GTS is a part of it.
Yeah. And you're doing all the right thing. And I feel like that's the time you take care of yourself. I think you and I are talking about it's like when I went through like a bunch of breakups too, and then I would
Yeah.
start doing things that sad people do. And so my actions were reflective of a sad person, and I was
Yes.
sad. I listened to
Yes.
sad music. I kept to myself. I'd watch movies. I'd
Yes.
be alone all the time. And I
You
realized,
can like romanticize that. And then you're like, wait, this doesn't feel good at all. And
yeah,
I'm feeling like I might get stuck in this loop. Like it
yeah,
becomes a negative feedback loop. And I noticed that was happening to me too. Like I just wanted to hide away so badly because I was so anxious and I had never felt that way before. And like it's a normal feeling, but I've never felt it. So all I
yeah,
wanted to do was hide. I was
yeah,
scared to come into the gym, but once I like pushed myself through
yeah,
those doors, I
yeah,
was like nervous for 1 second until like I was with you guys and surrounded by you guys. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I stopped myself from coming in. I feel so much better already, even just being in here. And then you start to build that positive feedback loop,
mm,
getting out of the negative, because
yeah,
once I got in there, that was all I needed. But I had sheltered myself and
mm.
I could have kept doing that, but I'm really glad that I didn't. So that was really good.
Yeah. I think a lot of you don't think about it. You think like your mood and your feelings dictate your actions, but it should be
Yeah.
the other way around. Like you
Yeah.
need to take action first, and your mood and feelings will usually follow. So if you,
Definitely.
I'm going to do things that happy people do, usually you'll end up taking yourself out of that mess. So obviously, I'm not an expert, but it's helped me through a lot of different things.
Same.
I'm sure everyone's experience is a little bit different. But what about you, Olola? What about some of the like the changes that we had to make to your program? And I know you've dealt with an injury and like a low back injury, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I got a low back injury where I automatically was like, I'm gonna cancel that. Yeah, really painful, really hard to do any of the like normal everyday things. But I remember you guys being like, "We'll just come in and we'll see how we can work around it." And I'm like, "How? We're not gonna be able to work around it."
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we had to do that and realized that there weren't so many other things I could do.
yeah,
Uh, and not just work around it, but also do to make it better, even if it was like stretching, even if it was different, like just having that little ball and being in different spots and having like people tell you where you should be rolling it out.
yeah,
Little of that, which I feel like you probably would do that. I don't know. Like I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Because one, I don't know what I'm doing. But two, I think like I need someone to always tell me what to do and stuff like
yeah,
that. I think
yeah,
I trick myself very easily coming home, being like, it's fine, you just need to rest.
mhm, yeah.
So I need that like accountability and having someone be there to instruct me is really
Yeah.
helpful.
Draws parallels to life, right? I feel like you stress about the things that are out of your control. I'm injured, or change your identity. I'm someone that's injured. I have a back injury. It's a history of a back. And then all of a sudden you just don't do certain things. But really, when you look at in any situation in life, what are the things that are within my control? And I'm just going to focus on that right now. And it just makes everything way easier to manage. Like in Lily's situation, or what's my call? I can keep showing up to the gym. I can still
Yeah.
make friends. I can still be like, choose to live a positive, happy life. And that'll attract other people. And then before you know it, the right thing will happen again. And for you, just showing up in the gym, keeping all the surrounding musculature strong, keeping the habit of training, keeping it top of mind, eventually your body will heal, or we'll figure out a way to keep training.
That and like then I think it's a more natural flow back into where you were before too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not really stopping. You're just modifying. And like you just keep modifying until you get to the place you were before. Or I feel like I maybe never got back to where I was exactly, but now I think I ended up in an even better spot.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
Great.
how that happened, but yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, I do feel, and I do feel this, I guess nothing to do with the injury, but just in general, being consistent throughout all of that, I feel like I can totally see the results of that in my volleyball game.
Yeah.
That I think, I don't know what other kind of training would have helped me really.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
sure.
think anything else would have really done the trick.
Yeah, we hear that a lot with all different sports, like people that are playing golf or volleyball or skiing even. We've heard that, like just the translation over to these things, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're at probably like 35 minutes right now. So if you were to give advice to your former selves or someone that is on the fence, looking at any type of, not just our gym, but like barbell training in general, getting started, keeping the momentum, what advice would you give to this younger self or other woman out there that's looking to get started into weight training?
I'm mad at my younger self.
Oh, yeah?
I actually didn't start doing I didn't play sports in high school or college. I did some yoga. So until I was 30, I did nothing.
Wow.
And then I started playing volleyball a lot. But again, without any strength training, I think it would have helped me immensely if I would have done that way earlier on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that I got to this point though, because I guess I could have gone my whole life without doing this.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't anything like that my family did or my friends did. So yeah, I just lived life till 30 without any like really like good physical activity.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's not this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't tell myself like start early. I would start as early as possible. And even if
Yeah.
I realized actually how much I love sports and how much I love weight training, and I actually really like physical activity. I just didn't know that I liked it. I was a very artsy kid, and it was all about just sitting with your friends. And,
Yeah.
it was that kind of life for me. And, yeah.
Yeah. There's so many life lessons in sport that you learn. My wife and I were just talking about this too, because she gets very shaky when something happens with Tiago, our toddler, when he first started eating by himself and he would like choke. She would just go into this like complete panic and her anxiety would go through the roof and that kind of thing. And for whatever reason, I could stay calm through that and just address it. And I think a lot of that has to do with sport to a degree. When you have like that adrenaline rushing and you react poorly, it shows up negatively on the field, right? You have to be able to maintain your composure under duress when you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're anxious, and then you make better decisions along the way. But I think the only way to get better at that is exposure and putting yourself into those scary situations often. until you come out the other side and you realize, all right, I just gotta, what is in my control right now? What can I do in this situation? And me panicking or letting my heart rate go out of control will not help the situation. And I think that's just a product of her not necessarily playing sports or having these situations throughout life. It's just, she's the first time that she's getting into scary situations that she doesn't know what to do. So maintaining her composure is kind of like, oh no. And so it's something she's actively has to work on. And she's gotten better and better every single time it's happened. And quicker turnarounds, but the first time she's like shaking for 30 minutes when it happened.
Definitely. Yeah, I can relate to that. I honestly think that just comes with trying new things and experiencing new things. Like I just danced as a child. Like that was the only kind of sport that I did, but I really loved dancing. But I was in competitive dancing, so I was getting injured often and I couldn't continue because I was getting hurt in the same places, and it just wasn't allowing me to live my life, honestly, because I was always in pain and couldn't grow as a dancer. So I stopped working out and doing any physical activity as well. And in college, like I gained the freshman 15, like I was very thin in high school, but honestly it wasn't in a healthy way. It was like, oh, these girls are all skinny, so I need to be skinny too. And then I went to college, was drinking a ton and didn't really care about working out or my weight. And then I was like, okay, I'm not feeling great and I'm not like fitting into my clothes how I'd like to. So I tried intermittent fasting first. I was like, let me just try this. I didn't even think to like work out or anything because I just thought I didn't like it. I just didn't know because I never really worked out. All I ever did was dance. And so intermittent fasting helped. It ignited me a little bit. And then I started to do little like exercises here and there, definitely not frequently. And I literally remembered my friend that I made here when I first moved to LA. She was like, oh, I like running half marathons. And I was like, that sounds fun. Maybe I should try it. And I was like, I've never ran a day in my life, but maybe I should just sign up because like I feel like I'd be so proud of myself if I did that.
Yeah.
So I signed up. It was like in 8 months and I signed up with her. And I remember the first day that I tried to like go to the gym and get on the treadmill, and I was crying on my kitchen floor, like crying because I was like, I don't want to work out. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do this, but I signed up, like I paid for it. I have to, I'm running this half marathon. And so I started like getting myself into the gym, just even like walking 30 minutes on the treadmill. And then I was like, okay, let me try to run a mile today, not timing myself. And I ended up running the half marathon. I ended up though, like really building some momentum, and it started really slow, but I'll never forget. I was crying on the floor saying, I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to the gym. I'm not. And then once I actually just starting small, I think is important. You don't need to run the half marathon the next day. You need to start slow and do attainable things or things that are slightly unattainable. Like I think that helps really build a momentum. And that goes with what you were saying about your wife. I think just that exposure to things and realizing like, okay, I could do this. How about I take another step? And it goes for anything in life. And I think that then when I ran the half marathon, I was like, wow, like I never would have thought I would have done that. And I was like, I can do cardio, but I'd like to lift weights. I don't know where to begin with that. I don't want to hurt myself with things. So I think it just being curious about what you might want to try, you can really put your mind to anything, because I'm telling you, from crying on my kitchen floor to now being able to run a half marathon and strength training, and now I enjoy working out and exercising and just moving my body in some way every day. I think once you start, you'll figure out what you enjoy.
Yeah. It's almost your first draft always sucks. Once you just admit that to yourself, it unburdens you from, I have to be perfect at this thing, because most people don't do things that they like. If whatever they suck at, they don't do.
Yeah.
And like pull-ups is a perfect example.
Oh,
People are like,
yeah.
oh, I suck at pull-ups. Oh, how often do you do pull-ups? Not really at all, because I suck at them. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe
Like,
if we
that
do
makes sense.
pull-ups regularly, we might get good at pull-ups, right? For example, right? But
Yeah.
if you like allow yourself to suck for a little bit, right? You allow yourself like, hey, this is my first draft, and my second draft is going to get better, and my 60th draft is going to be even better than that. And as long as you just commit to the suck of
Right.
trying something
Accepting
out
that. Just
and
accepting
not
that you're going to suck.
yeah, and comparing yourself to other people, like you put yourself in an environment that nurtures that. That's one of the reasons why I'll talk to people on the phone. They'll tell me, oh, I squat some ridiculous amount. They'll say 300, 400 pounds, whatever. And I just go,
Wow.
okay. And we're going to pretend like you don't know anything when we come into this training camp. And I know you won't, and we can progress this stuff really fast, but let's just pretend like we don't know anything, because I've just learned over the years that once we start exposing people from the very beginning, it just unburdens them from, I have to prove this to this guy or whatever. And you're like, you don't. Let's just pretend, let's get on the same wavelength. It makes it easier on the both of us.
So
and then a
true.
lot of times we end up exposing, oh, wow, this isn't what you're not supposed to be using that weight. You're probably supposed to be using a different weight.
Right.
And it just exposes it naturally without me having to like belittle someone or tell them how awful they are or anything. Hey, this is our reasoning. This is our rationale. This is why I think this might be better for you this way. And then just go, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. I should probably scale this down a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah. But so thank you too so much for doing this with me and your time, and especially you, Ola, for making time for us. I know you're just like super busy right now. I always give everyone a t-shirt at the end of this, so make sure you guys grab one next time you're in. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting the business and just being a part of it, and looking forward to what you two accomplish over the next
We love it so much.
years. Yeah.
Thank
So-
you. Yeah, I can't live without you guys.
I know, I feel the
honestly.
same.
It's
I know.
never gonna happen.
Yeah. Well,
Love
thanks.
you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Good night.